I'm John Pollock with the man for which this segment is named after, Wei Ting. We're here in Wei's office, and I hope everyone can see that the Jack Swagger shirt has already made it onto Wei's Wall of Fame. So a Christmas gift in record time, making it up.
Most of these
most of them have
presents.
been what I bought for you to be actual shirts you would wear.
That's a present. That Dre shirt I like a lot.
You haven't you haven't spent a penny on anything on this wall.
Of course not.
They're all gifts.
Otherwise, I'd be wearing it. But it looks great on the wall.
It does. Look at the wide variety of colors: yellow, blue, few black.
Most of these
and
shirts,
then white.
Yes, and most of these shirts, of course, people can get at
ProWrestlingTees.com/capital LAW. We have to emphasize.
No. Lowercase.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that what you've been doing?
So we put up a thread on the lawradio.proboards.com free message board, and we're going to take a few questions here. We're not going to go through all of them. Hopefully this will be a recurring segment, unless no one watches this, and then you know what? Our time is way more valuable. Okay, from our good pal Brad, the archivist. Since you're not going to WrestleMania this year, starting this off on a pleasant note, would you consider doing a Toronto listener meetup podcast? I would absolutely do a Toronto listener meetup podcast if the people were there.
I think what worked about sort of the WrestleMania weekend meetups was the fact that everybody was already in town. Mm-hmm. So it would probably take some type of event happening in our city in Toronto for it to be kind of worthwhile and to get all the wrestling fans together at once.
WWE Network special. Everyone's traveling in for
possible. That. Yeah, let us know.
When will there be little Pollocks and Tings running around? John, I want to see if you can digest as much wrestling and MMA if you had a child. Well, I have no idea. And the last place I would announce that would be on a YouTube video.
For me,
probably very soon.
Probably in 20 years.
20 years?
50, yeah, that's my opinion.
That's kind of selfish to the child.
Why?
Because you're going to be old at that point, Wei.
Well,
you're going to be 51 and have a child.
I'll probably be rich.
Wei, you mentioned you want an Xbox around Christmas. If you kept it, what are you playing or plan on playing? What are you playing on Xbox?
The question is if I kept it.
Oh.
And, I did not keep it. The last time I played video games was, I think we had attempted to do some type of WWE like 2K13 review or something like that. I was playing it like 48 hours, 72 hours straight. My body just started to feel like shit. You know what I mean? So like, I just knew that it was unhealthy for me, so I gave it up.
Our next question, Wei, would you like to see Hong Kong and all of Asia become multicultural like the West has become? I've never been to Hong Kong. Is it not very diverse when you've been there?
Actually, I mean, for an Asian country, I'd say Hong Kong is probably one of the more diverse ones. Some people call it like the kind of gateway to Asia for a Westerner because it's not fully bilingual, but like you'll see signs everywhere in English, and a lot of the people, especially the younger people, are bilingual. They speak English. So. You know,
when was the last time you were over there?
I'd say probably like 5-6 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but of course I'd love to see it being multicultural.
El Dandy, the great El Dandy, writes, if you could review anything other than wrestling and combat sports related, what would you like to review? I would be fine covering other sports. I think that there's, I follow other sports casually. I wouldn't say there's any sports I cover outside of combat sports or follow with any kind of serious degree, but if it was my job, I absolutely would, and I think it would be transition I could make.
To review something though, kind of like carries some responsibility. Like you're expected to become an expert. I would probably be a bit more niche. Like maybe I would review like hairstyles of baseball players.
Okay.
Or maybe that
is a wide open field that no one is tackling, that I know of. Let's go to Chris Engler, the man behind the annual Royal Rumble pool. What are your favorite books? One author, Bill Carter, who's written a number of tremendous books about, first he wrote The Late Shift involving Jay Leno and David Letterman, and then wrote another one just a couple of years later called Desperate Networks, and then did one recently about the whole late night shakeup with Conan and Jay Leno. He's a great reporter when it comes to the entertainment industry, and he's written a number of great books.
What's your favorite wrestling book?
Favorite wrestling book? I really enjoyed Pure Dynamite when I first read it. That one came out, very much in the infancy of wrestling books in 1999. Mick Foley's books, these are all kind of the stock answers. I really enjoyed Hooker by Lou Thez because it was from a time period that there's very little that is written on that time period by somebody that was directly involved as much as Luthez was. And now you're seeing a lot more with various historians going back to that time period, but I'm fascinated by kind of that historical part of pro wrestling. And in mixed martial arts, there have been a number of great books. I think Loretta Hunt wrote a great book with Randy Couture. One that didn't really get much of a release was Gary Hart's book, which is unfortunate because that was an outstanding book and I was somehow able to get a copy of it. Should we do one more?
Sure.
What's your favorite set of Lego currently and all time?
I'm a huge Lego fan for people who aren't aware. But I think my favorite current set, I'm a big fan of the modular buildings. Some of the sets more created for adults and with a tremendous amount of detail. And like, I'm such a nerd, I just like even watching videos of like people reviewing these things. Those are the types of reviews that I like to watch. But my favorite all-time set might be what people affectionately call the Big Yellow Castle. And the only reason why I'm even aware of it, because it came up before I was born, is because my brothers, I have 2 older brothers and they're about like 12, 13 years older than me. But when they were kids, they had this set. And so growing up, I kind of like combined my Lego collection with their Lego collection, and there were all these yellow pieces everywhere, and I didn't know where they came from. I later came to find out that they came from this, the first castle from Lego, this big yellow castle. There's a bookstore in Toronto called Doug Miller Books, and this guy just like, he has a big Lego collection that he displays in his bookstore, and he had the big yellow castle.
Oh, wow.
And I've never seen this thing in person before, and it was, every time I pass by, I try to like duck in and just take a look.
Well, wait, let's be honest with the viewer at home. This is a selfish project here to get more interest in our brand new Law YouTube channel.
Yes.
What do you want people to do with this video? Of course we want people to watch it, but I want them to subscribe to the channel, whether you liked or didn't like this video. Is that pretty much what we're aiming for here?
I suppose so, yes. We're just trying to create a new forum to, I think, get more content out there.
I really do miss all the MMA only viewers on the Fight Network
channel. We can
channel.
start profiling some of those. I mean, I think we'll still get bits and pieces here and there. We'll still put some wrestling videos up there. Best was when we put up an update on Bret Hart's illness last week, and even then there were people complaining.
I only want. This is called the Fight Network, and complained over a story about a man being diagnosed with cancer, which to me is pretty much the lowest scum that you're gonna come across anywhere. And I don't care what anonymity you hide behind online. You're a disgusting individual to post something like that.
Whoa.
And you were definitely muted. So I will never hear from that person again. There's zero tolerance from Pollock in 2016.
No,
you're a piece of crap. You will be muted, and I will never hear from you again. I weigh the blocking and muting, but as I've said in the past, I like muting more because I love the idea that they're going to continue, and it goes into the ether.
Well, what's on the stream this week on iTunes? What can people get?
Oh boy, tons of shows that we just reviewed. What did we review this week, Boy?
Jake the Snake.
That's
Roberts.
right. The Resurrection of Jake the Snake.
Yes.
That is up on this very YouTube channel with a beautiful intro put together by One Wei Ting. You can also download the audio version as well up on our iTunes channel. It has a full interview with Diamond Dallas Page at the end of the review. And then we've got a new edition of What's Next that just went up with Jason Agnew and Braden Harrington. And this coming Sunday on The Law, we'll be hearing from Teddy Long. He is going to be coming on to The Law. Why? Because it's going to be a tag team, Jason Agnew and Dan Lavransky on The Law at 11 Eastern Time.
The WWE Network, they put up old pay-per-views every single Sunday. So this week they're going to air WrestleMania 4, and we'll have our old review of WrestleMania 4 up on this YouTube channel as well. So tune in Sunday for that.
Yes, we are